Earliest of my memory, I can remember getting up and walking out in the old, we were raised in an old farmhouse, and I'd get out of bed, we'd run into the kitchen, and Dad would have a fire built in the old cook stove, and I can remember on the radio, be playing some traditional country music, the Osborne Brothers, and you know, back then it would be Buck Owens and Mel Street, and I just knew that that music was in my heart because my dad did it, and it was what I wanted to do, no question.
He'll tell you that tradition in America is strong.
Country's from the heart. It's the horses, it's the horse barn, it's the raising the hay, working on the farm, getting to work with my old cattle dog, enjoying country to its fullest, and enjoying country music to its fullest. Country to me is just a way of life. I think a lot of people that have respect for our country and our traditional values like my music. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm thankful for the position I'm finally in, and I'm thankful for good people who like my music.
They're tried and true, red, white, and blue, and the last of a dying breed.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Buzz Talk Live. My guest tonight will warm your hearts with country music. Singer-songwriter Richard Lynch is having a long, successful career and has lasted over 3 decades, compiling a list of country music hits, including 2 #1 singles on the iTunes chart. He's also pictured in Billboard magazine, Taste of Country, and countless other publications. Richard has had multiple #1 hits on the New Music Weekly radio and many other top charts. He's recorded duets with legendary artists such as Ronnie McDowell and Leona Williams, as well as Grammy Award winner Ronna Vincent, and is a proud member of the Ohio and Independent Country Music Halls of Fame. Richard is the owner of the Keepin' It Country Farm in Waynesville, Ohio, and is here tonight to share his life's work in country music. So sit back, relax, and please chat and welcome Richard Lynch to Buzz Talk Live. Hey there, Richard.
Hey, George, thanks for having me, man. What a blast.
All right, thank you, man. Thanks for taking the time out tonight. And it's cold out there.
It is.
And I know, you know, where you are, you're in Ohio, right?
Yep.
So give me like some directions here. Where exactly in Ohio are you?
Well, I'm about 30 miles north of Cincinnati, so we're down in the southwestern part. Not too far from the Ohio River toward Kentucky there.
You're getting all that snow there, right?
Oh, we've had our share of snow. We've had a
Yeah, I mean,
ball.
oh my God, that whole frozen zone is dipped down into the country. Dallas, snow. It's oh my God, unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm ready for spring.
And with you, it's not you're not shoveling out your driveway. You live on a farm. You live on acres of land out there, right?
Oh, we do. We got a farm. We raise some horses and some donkeys and grow hay, and we actually have a venue on our farm where we bring live country music, throughout the warm weather
Wow.
months. So,
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. And I have some pictures of the farm here. So I don't know. There's your donkey.
one of them.
One of them, yeah. Well, you got the whole thing, right? You got the chickens, you got you got cows and horses, and look at that.
Well, we don't have chickens at this point in time. We used to have cattle, but we're down to horses and donkeys and a good old fashioned blue heeler dog that she runs over all over the place. She's the boss of the farm. So,
That's great, man. Look at that. How many acres is that? That's
we own 32 acres, but we farm, quite a bit more than that. But,
wow, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Life on a farm, man. So you get up, like they say, you get up with the chickens, right? You get up about what, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning?
well, I try to sleep in, but this thing called age makes me get up. When I had to work, I could sleep in, but now I don't have to, and I can't. So what's up with that, George?
I don't know. I know. Hey, look, this is what they call age, right?
I guess that's what it is.
It's the internal alarm clock that's ticking.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, wow, music, country music, and what you have accomplished as an independent artist out there. It had started out, family. Your dad, right? Your dad was in country music. So tell us, as far as your influences and your dad a little bit. Was he like a named country artist, or was he independent as well?
Well, I grew up in a household where country music was just a way of life. I always thought that everybody listened to traditional country, and because that's how I was raised.
Right.
You know, Dad was an incredible singer, entertainer. Grew up from eastern Kentucky and migrated north into Ohio, and that's where he raised me and my siblings. I knew at a young age that country music was something that I wanted to do. I got a quick story for you.
Yeah.
The at the ripe old age of 8 years old, I got to see my dad perform for the very first time, and he was playing in Dayton, Ohio. And I got to go with my mom and my dad and watch him perform, of course. And so I'm out there in the audience, and I'm seeing my dad perform, and he's playing with this guy that I watch on television every Saturday night. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, my dad must be somebody. He's playing with this guy named Porter Wagner on Saturday night that I watch every weekend.
Oh, wow.
So here I am, my dad's performing, and unbeknownst to me, he pointed down to my mom and said, Linda, send Richard up here on the stage. Now here I am, 8 years old. The first time I had no clue my dad was going to invite me up on his stage. So I get up and I sang an old Buck Owens song. I got a tiger by the tail. So you might imagine an 8-year-old kid went over pretty well. Because
wait, this was impromptu? This was impromptu.
Totally impromptu. I had no clue Dad was going to get me up there. So the crowd response was absolutely overwhelming, and I was bit right then and there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Country music bug, man, it bit me hard right there.
So what was you're on? I don't know. You can't remember back then, I'm sure, but 8 years old, you're on the stage and you're looking out in the audience and you're doing your thing, you're singing, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, everybody's like liking this, Yeah. Wait a second, I might have something here.
That's exactly how it went, And at that point, my mom knew that my dad had created a monster, and I was the monster.
Well, let me tell you, that monster's doing pretty well today. You got a gift, my friend, and go for it, right? So, and then, well, obviously, time has passed, and did you get formal training then? Did you go for formal training, or was it just like you shoot from the hip?
We just, we got to play. Little local clubs, and I was fortunate I could use my dad's name to
Yeah.
My first time I played a nightclub, I was 15 years old, so I had no business being in there. But I was Woody's boy. That was my dad's name. So
Oh,
I got
okay.
away with a lot of stuff that a
Sure.
lot of folks wouldn't have ever got away with.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I had to pay my dues. Dad gave me some opportunities to play, but ultimately it was up to me to, to shine, to come through, and to create my craft.
Sure.
But the music thing is something either you love, or because if music is just a well, it's okay kind of thing, then you're not gonna have much longevity.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that I get to still do what I love to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. And you're creating, you're making people smile, and all these years, passed. But like when you were a teenager, did you then pick up the guitar, or was it just singing first and then you went to the guitar, and then you learned self-taught?
Exactly. Yeah, I'd sit around at the farm of the evening. Dad would play his guitar, and us kids would gather around and we would sing.
Oh,
And
that's
then
great.
I got my first guitar when I was 13 years old, and I was learning a few chords. And
Uh-huh.
my dad would show me a few chords, but he wasn't as patient with me as
Nah.
I'd hoped. So,
No.
I had a high school buddy or two, and when you're in high school and you got a buddy that's playing some music,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
ultimately got us a little band together,
Sure,
and we were playing little VFWs and moose clubs and in little wedding receptions. The first paid gig I ever got in my life, I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And a friend of mine said, "Hey, we got a gig." I said, "Oh, our first gig?" He said, "Yeah, what are we doing?" He said, "They're going to hire us to play for a wedding reception." I'm like, "Oh, wow." So we did the show. We made $60 a piece.
Oh
we
my
thought,
God.
Man, we are in high cotton.
There
And
you go.
back then we only knew 9 songs. So when we got through playing the first 9, we just started over and played them again, and they still paid us.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, well, that's they liked you. They wanted to hear it again.
I guess so.
Yeah. All right. So you've become some sort of accomplished where now you're in a band, and you're serious at it, right? Now is this something that you took to from your dad and everything, and now it's like it's coming easy for you, and singing in front of people and performing, because that takes something too, right? I mean, you just don't get up there, and you got to be secure in yourself, in your own talent to pull it off, especially to sing in front of people and remember the song and all that at such a young age. But you got to do it, and you got a band together, right? And now it's like, you're there. You are. It's you're on top of the haystack over there. And you're gigging, man. You've been doing it for all these years, and the likes of legendary, duets here. Like I said in my open, Rhonda Vincent and all these people that you ever think that, wow, did you ever pinch yourself and say, wow, this is pretty cool that, I'm singing with these folks, and I guess they like me.
Well, you touched on something there that's really special. Here I am performing with these people that was my heroes when I was a youngster.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can say that these people that are, worldwide and known nationally and internationally are my friend. And what I realized is they've accepted me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that in of itself is quite an accomplishment, that these folks that I consider my hero in my life now call me by name, and they're my friend. And, if nothing else ever happens, that is quite a success in the music business.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just to be remembered by your name, and to say, give you kudos, man. I mean, you're doing it, right? And you're making a living out of it. You are a designer of barns and barns, as far as reconditioning them. You've set up, the in Waynesville, Ohio, where you're from. the Keeping It Country farm, and you have a barn there that that you constructed, you built. Incredible, and it's like it's your house. So you're basically going there with the band, and you got a stage set up, right? I got some pictures here that'll come up, but and it's really cool that you did this, and you invite people. Is it like you know the build it and they will come?
A lot like that. Yes, it is.
You see the cars lining up from the from the corner. Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned earlier that I was raised on a farm. Well, I'm the oldest of 6 kids growing up, and out of necessity,
wow.
I had to help my mom and dad, whether it was farming or on an old farm, you're always working on barn roofs or restoration of some sort. So I learned an awful lot about buildings and working on different things there on the farm. And as I got older, I was always playing music, but I had a real job. Let's just go ahead and call it a real job too.
Sure. No, you worked with your hands. You're building stuff.
So we had a construction company, and I would build new buildings, and I would restore old antique barns. I still do that occasionally.
Wow.
But I love the fact that I can work with my hands and make that connection with an old barn and give it new life. Like we just finished a barn restoring here recently. It was 150 years old, and we completely restored it. And now it'll have another 100 years of life. And
damn,
I can say that I contributed to this beautiful piece of, crafted building that's from 100 years old again. So I love that.
Now, how many times do you perform there at the country farm? Is it on the weekends? Is it like special dates, or is this like a constant thing?
Well, we do it in the warm weather months.
Oh, you don't do it in snow, 10-foot drifts?
No, we don't do it. Well, it's a genuine farm, and so I got to make sure the hay is off the farm. We park everybody in the hay field.
Oh, okay.
Around the pond, and usually June through October, once a month in June through October, and we'll bring Grand Ole Opry stars and
nice
traditional country artists. And we do anywhere from 5 to 6 shows a year there on our farm. And, I've had these people come up to us and not know what to expect, knowing that they're coming to a barn. And then they get there, people like Confederate Railroad, for example, will say something like, hey, do you mind if we stay for another week or so? We don't want to leave, But it's real country music around a real genuine working farm in a barn that looks like something maybe your grandparents would have had on their farm.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's really cool.
Warm, welcoming place.
Now, I want to bring up a person that you've sung duets with and had on stage with you, Ronnie McDowell. Now, you and Ronnie are part of this foundation, this Love Tattoo Foundation. I want you to tell the folks out there what is that about, and how maybe they can contribute to something like this.
Well, I'm a huge supporter of our men and women of the military. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as Ronnie's concerned, we can't do enough to help.
Oh no, absolutely.
And I wrote a song called Love Tattoo. Actually, I'm a co-writer, and it got quite a bit of attention. And we realized that we could help people who are more than deserving, as far as I'm concerned. And so we had some song. It was being played quite a bit. The song was being played quite a bit, and ultimately we got to do a show with Ronnie McDowell. And I learned something about Ronnie that I did not know. He did 3 tours of duty in Vietnam, so he is a genuine.
So he is a vet, yeah,
and a hero. And we did the show, and after the show, I said, Ronnie, I've got this song called Love Tattoo that I really feel we could do it together as a duet. I'd like for you to hear it, and if you have any interest in potentially recording it with me, get back with me.
Yeah.
So he took it home, and then within just a short time or other, he called our manager and said, hey, I would love to record that with you. So we got in the studio there in Nashville, and me and Ronnie McDowell recorded that together. And then it created another life to where now it's getting a whole bunch of more air.
Yeah.
A whole bunch more of attention.
Yeah.
And we were introduced to a place called the Whirlwind Lodge, which is in North Michigan. And it's a 1,200-acre facility,
Uh-huh.
all dedicated to help veterans. It has a
Beautiful.
several lodges. It has a medical and a doctor place for folks for the GIs to really come, and it's designed for them to get some R&R. So it's just me and Ronnie McDowell's little way of giving back to some people who I feel deserve it more than anybody.
Well, I have a clip of the song that I want to run. It's a little music video that of the song. So I want to run that clip, and then I want to talk to you about it a little further.
Okay.
He loves his God, his kids, his wife. For them, he gladly give his life. He served his country as many do, and he came home with a love tattoo.
I remember when the soldier walked past. He paused as he heard a young child ask, "Where'd you get that scar I see on you?" He smiled and said, "It's not a scar, it's my love tattoo." The soldier said, "To keep our world more safe for you, I fought and bled as many do.
I did what I knew I had to do. No, it's not a scar, it's my love tattoo. My love tattoo is a symbol to remind him how we fought with pride for our red, white, and blue.
If Uncle Sam asked him to stand with our soldiers in some foreign land, he'd unpack his uniform and combat boots,
and with honor bring back home a new love tattoo.
Ah, that's great, man. What a song. What a song.
Thank you, George.
Um,
Thank you.
There was a in my notes here. I have there was a law enforcement officer, Charles Brisham. Is it?
Charles Brisbane.
Yeah, it's something about that this young man. He was inspired by this young man from Afghanistan, a soldier, and he wrote a poem. So was he a co-writer of the song with you, or how did that all?
Yeah, Chuck Brisbane is a friend of ours that we had known through other friends playing around the country, and we got acquainted, and he sent my wife Donna the poem, and he said, "Listen, I met this young man, and he wanted no sympathy, so he wrote it. He wrote this poem." And Chuck said to me, "Richard," he said, I think we could put some music to this." So I took it and I put some music to it, and I added a couple verses. Actually, I added a chorus to it, and pretty much just use the idea of Chuck's poem and the proofs in the pudding. We come up with this beautiful song, and it's a fitting tribute, for our military men and women.
Yeah, incredible, and so, like, I don't know, it's honorable that you've done this. You're giving back. It's part of being a country artist and a person that's in the spotlight. People look up to you, so it's a way of giving back, and that's very, very honorable. I have chats, so let me put up a chat here. And right off the bat, from Barnum Brown is I'm a huge fan of country music, old time, original country music. May I say, you, sir, you have an amazing voice, and that was a great song. So more to come.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
no, that's great. Thank you for that, Barnum Brown. See, you got fans out there, man. You're making them. You're making them as I'm broadcasting your show. You're making fans. So let me get to this. I love this slide. He'll make everything all right. Now, was that an album? Was that like part of an album, or is this like a single, or what was this?
It's a single off my current album. It's on the My Guitar Drips Country album.
Oh, okay.
And I was sitting here watching the news, and if you listen to the news pretty much, you can get depressed. Like, man, I got to turn this off. And so I grabbed my guitar and I realized, that ultimately the man upstairs has got this. No matter how bad things get or how bad we think things are, we're going to get through it. He'll make everything all right.
Yeah.
So I wrote the song. I don't pretend to be, this religious freak or anything. I know my maker, and I'm glad of it. And I'm glad he gave me this talent to share the music, and that songs like He'll Make Everything All Right is just proof positive that if you think positive and you have a good heart, you can connect with people, and music actually heals people.
Oh, absolutely. I believe in that wholeheartedly. So the new album you have is out now. And it literally just came out not too long ago.
Last Saturday night was the first world premiere of it, so we've had an awful lot of fun with it, and it's getting a lot of attention. And like I said, I think people are really hungry for traditional country music, and that's what I represent.
And just to speak to that a little bit about what's out there that's consuming the airwaves with different genre of the country. I've mentioned outlaw country and modern country and all these other different styles, and you're a throwback of how country was originally created and sung, and that's why with all the noise that's out there, you just plow right through, and your style, your singing style, and he's right, you have an incredible voice. So right through, you right through all the noise that's out there, and you're pure. It's pure country that you're delivering to the folks out there, and it's hats off to you, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. People, they nothing against the modern country or whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah.
But if you were a traditional country fan in 1960 or 70s or 80s or 90s, you're not necessarily understanding what today's music is, and so they're still looking for that traditional sound. They want new music. They want that good music that they can connect with. But they want that steel guitar and that fiddle and that
exactly,
and a storyline.
There's one song, one of my favorite songs, and it's a fun song, and I love this. I'm gonna play. It's called Cathead Biscuits, and I want to play this clip because it's awesome. Check it out.
Cathead biscuits, red-eye gravy, down home cooking. That's how my mama raised me. Soup, beans, and cornbread, and wild mustard greens. Simple country living, that's what you get with me. I remember mama hollered, don't let the flies out, for you kids born in a barn. And I recall mama's country words of wisdom we all knew when she laid down the law. I together, stacking the hay in the barn. And every evening we find Mama fixing our country supper. And she sure cooked with lard.
I love that song, man. It's so pure. It's so country. And I gotta ask. So this is something that, as you growing up as a kid, you retained in your head, and you recalled it in the lyrics of this song. It's got to be, right?
Exactly. You know, I mentioned earlier, my dad was from Eastern Kentucky growing up. So all my life I heard, you know, we can't wait to have cat head biscuits and red eye gravy growing up, you know. I just thought this is such a cool thing. I have to write a song about it. And a couple of summers ago, me and the band members was doing a show in Eastern Kentucky. And by the time we got out of there, you know, we're driving back home. We're all getting hungry. And one of the band members says to me, he says, "Boy, I could sure stand a big cat head biscuit right now."
What the hell is a cat head biscuit?
A cat head biscuit is a big fluffy biscuit about the size of a baseball or bigger, and it was just made reference to as a Southern twang, just a cat head biscuit, you know. And that's,
well, let me tell you, you can't, Richard, you can't buy any of that stuff in the store, because I haven't seen it. No way. That's definitely made from love there. Exactly. Oh my God, that's incredible. So all right, so you went to Nashville to record this album, right?
Yes.
And so like, so you're in Nashville, you're doing this, and now this is like you're in it now. You're in the pandemic. You're recording this album, right? And everybody's got to have safe spaces and everything. Yeah. What was that like? I mean, you know, not traditionally, you know, recording a song like you usually do. Now you're in different spaces.
Well, this is our 5th nationally released album, so it was really different not to be able to, you know, chum around and hang around, you know, these musicians. And so we were in our own isolated booths, and, you know, we had to kind of keep our distance, and everybody was communicating via computer.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, really different. But ultimately, if you have a want to, you can make it work. Where there's a will, there's a way. And so, you know, Nashville finally, their mayor loosened up some regulations where they ultimately would let them record, because there was months that went by that they couldn't record at all. And the producer assured the Nashville mayor that, hey, we can do this safely. Yeah. And, you know, thanks to our modern technology with the computer ability, that we managed to do this. And I think the guys did an incredible job in the studio. They really did.
Oh yeah,
it was a whole different experience, you know.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, it actually looks like somebody's home that you're in to do this.
You know, it was originally, this whole house was built probably in the 50s or so forth, and it's been completely revamped. And it's an amazing studio, double-doored, soundproof in every aspect, and they've really spent some money and made it very modern and technology. You know, it's just amazing what they can do with these studios there in Nashville.
Yeah, no, and just to record in Nashville is cool unto itself, you know. You got a fan here. Love the traditional lyrics and the twang. Haven't heard that in a while. I'm buying all your albums tomorrow. That's great. There you go. iTunes, to find all your stuff is iTunes and all that. You're all up on there, right?
Oh yeah, any and all of the modern technology, all the you know, the places, YouTube and anything and everything. We're on all of them.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's great. So there is a song that you had on. It was an album. It's album of the year. Will Rogers song, "Better Place," which I thought was such a touching song. Meant a lot. Tell me a bit about the lyrics of that song before I play the clip.
Well, a friend of mine, Billy Yates, wrote that song, and Billy is a very sustained a singer-songwriter, wrote songs for people like George Jones and George Strait and on and on and on. So he's very established. So Billy produced that particular album. And, I went through lots and lots of songs during this process of recording this particular album. I didn't write any of the tunes on there. But I was so impressed with Billy's writing and the fact that he produced it such a great album that, I wanted people to really remember that particular song. All the songs are good, but the Better Place album, the song itself is
the
so
touching song.
substantial.
Yeah,
It's from the
fantastic.
heart, and
Oh,
it's
absolutely, absolutely. What country song isn't from the heart? It's all from the heart, right?
You may be onto something, George.
Yeah. You think? Let's take a look at Better Place.
I was driving, it was raining, on my way to bring her roses. When I got there, she wasn't there alone. Oh, it tore my world to pieces to know we'd never be together. So I said goodbye and headed off down the road. I couldn't see for the tears had rained. I heard the crash and I felt the pain, and my life was over just like that. But I'm in a better place, no more tears on my face. Up here above the clouds, I can see clearly now. She was my reason for living, and after all the love I'd given, I never dreamed I'd die with this heartache. Oh, but I'm in a better place.
That's great, man. What a touching song, and all the lyrics make so much sense, and what the song is and what it represents. Great job, man. Great job with that.
Thank you.
You got a gift. You got a gift. And you're versatile. I mean, look, out of the realm of that song, right? What's the difference between singing something like that as opposed to, others that you've done because that song is a little bit more like a mainstream type of, tune. Maybe I'm wrong, or school me on that, as far as it being, when I say mainstream, and that's why, my God, you hit a nerve there when you made that song, and you sung it so well. But
Well, thank you. It just goes to show you that there is a need for that real, honest to goodness traditional music. And a guy by the name of George Jones recorded a song called He Stopped Loving Her Today, and it was actually a #1 song 2 years in a row. And it's heartfelt, a very similar song that, heartbreak and romance.
right.
And when I heard that song, I knew that was a very special song. And I wanted people to remember something of substance. And if you listen to the entire lyrics of that there, it's got something, it pulls on your heartstrings and your emotions. And I wanted a song that did just that.
Yeah. No, and you did it well, man. You did it really well. As far as like venturing out and performing in other places, are you still like local into your area there, or are you're out on the road there? I saw some fancy wheels that you had.
Yeah, we up until last year, we play all over the country. We've even did a show in Ireland with a guy named David Frizzell.
Oh, wow.
Another one of my heroes. David had a lot of hits in the 80s. And but we're now rebooking. Everybody had cancellations for 2020. We had 49 cancellations all over the country. And but we're looking really good for the upcoming year. We're getting a lot of county fairs and different events around the country again. We just filmed a television show in Texas back in January I'm
Right.
excited about that. We're going to bring some more of our friends up to our farm in May. The Bellamy brothers are going to be doing a show with us at our farm.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
so we do have some things out there we're looking forward to. And as the vaccine takes its effect and can get people back to feeling better about themselves, we'd like to think that our music will take back off where we left off, on the road
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I'm sure it will. Lefty Frizzell related. Well, yeah. Isn't
Brothers.
that brothers?
They're brothers. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Lefty was the oldest, and then David, and actually there's another Frizzell brother, Alan, that's in the gospel music business, and so
Okay.
I'm friends with those guys, and they're just country music legends. If you hear the name Frizzell, that's just
Right.
a country
Exactly.
music legend name.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. Yeah, you got to come to New York and put a little country here in New York. I mean, you could do it virtually, but you ever travel to New York City? I know you got a story. I'm setting you up.
One time, we were nominated for a song and album of the year a few years ago. I think it was 2017. And we got to go up to the Lincoln Center and be around some wonderful folks right there. And my first experience and only experience in New York City was that we got to do that. And here I am. I spent most of my time down there looking up, walking around, my head in the air. Like, wow, little girl must fall back where I come from.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I mean,
a farm boy out, a fish out of water. I was a farm boy out of the farm up in New York City, but we had a blast. I had a great time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish I was a fly on the wall on that one, boy. I tell you, yeah, just because it's so typical. I mean, first time in New York City, coming from where you come from, and everything is like blown up, the buildings, everything, it reaches the sky, and it's, oh my God, I can just imagine the impact that you must have had. That's crazy. That's crazy.
My wife, she'd been to New York City several times, and she kept threatening me, "Hey, you're going to go sometime," and I never made it. But when we got nominated for the award, I made sure I went, so it was fun.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Would you come back? Would you come back, or you had enough?
Absolutely. Country music is not necessarily just from the country. People love country music from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And I've heard people say something, like, I've heard this song and it's almost like I've been there, and different things. There's actually a song on my new album called Places I've Never Been that makes just that reference. People from all walks of life can connect with the traditional country sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, it seems to be a really well-structured album. The songs on there. I know your wife was telling me about is it Keyboard? What was the song again?
Oh, Keyboard Cowboy. That's all.
Keyboard Cow. Yeah, I gotta listen to that one. Keyboard Cowboy.
It makes reference to a guy who's putting stupid stuff on the computer and Facebook and stuff he shouldn't be doing. So I kind of poked back at him, made a little fun out of him. So.
I love that. Keyboard Cowboy.
If you can write songs and you got somebody you want to set straight, you can just put it in a song and they can't do anything about it. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Hey, so the album you that's out, you have one song on there that a dear friend of yours has passed, and I want you to speak to that a little bit. Doug Supernall, and he. Tell me the relationship, how you knew him, and he's country star, right? I mean, from the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Back in the 90s, Doug had a lot of big hits. I Don't Call Him Daddy and Reno and on and on. A lot of the traditional hits in the 90s. And he was just an incredible entertainer. Well, I got to do a show with him back then. And, we were friends. But, we hadn't seen each other in 20 years or maybe even longer. And we got to do another show again in our area. Mm-hmm. And we reacquainted, and it was nice to see my old friend again. And we were talking, hey, Doug, we're going to do this country music cruise out of Texas, out of Galveston, Texas. Would you like to join us? And he said, Richard, I'd love to do it. So we agreed to do it. 2 weeks before we're going to do the cruise, he was diagnosed with cancer.
Ugh.
And a year and a half from that particular day, he ultimately lost his battle.
Ugh.
But, Doug was well liked by so many people in the industry. Another friend of ours from Texas asked Doug if he would mind if he would record one of Doug's songs called Reno, but he had a twist to it. He wanted to do a little rock and roll. And Doug told this friend of his, listen, my guitar drips country. So you can do it any way you want to, do my song how you want to, but I'm going to be doing it country music. So when I heard Doug say that, I thought I'm going to connect with that song with that line, because I drip country, my guitar drips country.
Right.
And I wrote a tribute with the simple fact that, I love the guy, I loved his music, and I'm happy beyond belief because Doug ultimately got to hear that song before he passed away, and he gave me the 2 big
Oh, that's
thumbs.
great. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And, it's just my way of giving a overdue tribute to a man who was my friend and also my hero.
That's great.
And, just my little way
What
of saying
style?
thanks, Doug.
What style of country did he play? Like
Oh, definitely traditional country. Yeah,
traditional country?
No two ways about it. Now he can do anything, but he loved real traditional country music, and it showed when you hear him.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. So you have this tribute with on the new album. I think what is it, like the third, or is it the third
Second
cut?
song.
Second song. I have a clip of that that I want to run right now.
My guitar drips country. I wish that line was mine. It came from a conversation a country legend left behind. We've all heard songs about our heroes, how they've all stood proud and tall. Yes, I like Merle, and I like George, and a guy named Supernaw. A Texas guy who loves country music. He sang his songs from the heart, kept his fans in the palm of his hands. He mentioned a place called Reno, where Lady Luck dealt him a bad hand. But he found his way back to Texas, between the Red and the Rio Grande.
Wow, that's great, man. Such easy listening, and the lyrics are so touching, and really means a lot, man. To have a buddy, and to give this nice tribute to him. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
I want to premiere tonight a song video. Actually, it's a music video of Rodeo Town, which is another cut on that album, and I want to. It's going to premiere live right now here. That I want to show you, and then so tell us a little bit about Rodeo Town. I guess the lyrics behind it, or how the sampling of this song is what this is about.
Well, Rodeo Town is me and a guy named Tony Williams. Tony plays piano for me in the band. We were bouncing off some ideas for a song, and Tony was telling me the story that he had played 2 years for a house band in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and how he had met this little dark-haired beauty that made a big impact on his life, and without getting too graphic, the song just came about to life. And I said, tell me all these stories. And so we wrote our ideas down, and we sat down and we wrote the song Rodeo Town. But it's pretty much a confession from my old buddy Tony Williams from living out there. And once you hear the song,
Wait a minute.
once you hear the song, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Isn't all country music a confession?
Well, this one surely is.
That's a bad joke. All right, let's take a look at the premiere of Rodeo Town.
I heard her say down in Santa Fe, why don't you stay for a while? 'Cause it's cold out, the snow is coming down. Maybe we could start us a fire. I remember now her enchanted smile, and I want you to look in her eye. She was a mystery, and she was made for me on that late December night. She's got my head in the clouds. She's got my world spinning around. A dark-haired beauty that I found in her sweet little rodeo town. Hey, I just knew I was passing through. I had to be on my way. My work was done and I'd had some fun. I had no reason to stay. I had a long way to go back to Ohio, but I couldn't get her out of my mind. So I turned it around to that rodeo town. I made that dark-haired beauty mine. She's got my head in the clouds. She's got my world spinning around. A dark-haired beauty that I found in her sweet little rodeo town. She's got my head in the clouds. She's got my world spinning around. A dark-haired beauty that I found in her sweet little rodeo town. She's got my head in the clouds. She's got my world spinning around. A dark-haired beauty that I found in her sweet little rodeo town.
Perfect. That was really well done. Really well done.
Thank you. That's my favorite song on the album. I have to tell you, I love.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tell you, you nailed it. And it's so smooth, so easy. And this one chat, somebody chatted. Oh, so, you know, a great song when you fall in love with it immediately. Outstanding. It would be on my car radio very soon. That's great. That's great.
You know, it comes from, you know, if you listen to the lyrics, you know, and the little backbeat, it's got that south of the border type of feel.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you kind of expect to hear that southern kind of south of the border feel from a gal from Santa Fe, New Mexico. So we did our best to put some authenticity into that song.
Yeah, no, I mean, and speaking to that a little bit, like, how do you, with country music and all that, you know, sometimes it can all sound the same, you know, but you make things sound differently, and each song sounds different, given the obviously the subject matter. But how do you do that? I mean, as far as a singer, and you're putting it all together, is there like I don't know, maybe I'm out in left field about this a little bit, but I mean, just trying to put together the song and making songs, maybe the inflection, and maybe I'm thinking about the inflection of the certain lyric in the song. Is that something that you work on? Is that something that just comes to you just as far as like, when you sing the song? Is each song the same when you sing it? Like, like when you perform the song, is every song the same? Where am I going with this, Richard? Help me out.
Well, I've been listening to country music all my life, and I've been influenced people like Waylon Jennings and Hank Williams Jr. and Alabama and all those different stylists. And I think ultimately whenever I go to write a song, I put myself in the storyline, and I've been influenced by all these wonderful artists, and so I guess I use some of their different feels and beats and tempos subliminally in my head. I don't aim to, but the fact that I've been influenced by these wonderful artists kind of gives me that wide array to when I do write a song, I can kind of veer off a little here and veer off a little there and ultimately come up with my own sound. But I just been influenced by an awful lot of wonderful musicians out there, and I let that absorb, and I let that kind of show in my music as I write it.
Yeah, no, and you do really well. Really, really well. So let me see. How long ago were you recently inducted into the Ohio and in the Independent Country Music Hall of Fame?
Well, I was inducted into the Independent Country Music Hall of Fame first, and I think it was 2014, and it might have been early 2015, but I think it was 14. I was completely blown away. I had no idea. And the fact that someone thinks enough of me from my peers to put me in that just completely blew me away.
Wow.
And then in 2017, another surprise came when I was inducted into the Ohio Country Music Hall of Fame. And, there's so many wonderful musicians that came from Ohio that, that I really didn't realize that a lot of traditional country artists.
Is that right?
Come from Ohio. And, I'm so proud of that. I don't boastfully say it, but I'm proud because, my lifelong ambition and passion is being appreciated.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's that goes with any artist. You're giving back to your audience. You're giving back to your fans. You're giving it your all with your talent and everything. And that's the one thing that you want to have is to be appreciated as a country artist and any artist for that matter. I mean, just to have that, have that give and go here, with the fans and with you giving it back to them. I have a clip of now the clip I'm going to show, you probably saw it, but it's I guess you were getting ready to sing or whatever. And then the gentleman, either stopped everything and said, I have this announcement. And do you know the clip I'm going to show?
I don't. So this is going to be a surprise.
Okay. Let's take a look at this clip.
The Ohio Country Music Hall of Fame proudly inducts Richard Lynch in accordance with the bylaws of the Ohio Country Music Hall of Fame and the wishes of its membership. This honor is bestowed with humility and pride as we recognize the significant contributions made by this inductee in the preservation, promotion, and performance of traditional country music locally, nationally, and internationally.
Wow.
Congratulations.
And there it is. Hey!
That's incredible. So tell me, have you been to this Hall of Fame? Is it like the Baseball Hall of Fame, or is it something with country styling and music here?
Well, they just want to make sure that anybody with substantial contribution is recognized from the great state of Ohio. And I'm thankful that they thought enough of me to put me in there. People like Bobby Bear, he was a big old country star from the 60s, and he's still with us today. Ironically, Bobby Bear was a friend of my dad's before I was ever born. So
Really?
the fact that my name was along with somebody who I idolized as a kid, that's pretty overwhelming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's really cool. I'm sure you have another story to tell, but I just want to, just to take this time out to really, it was an honor to have you on the show tonight. And I know that you're not at your farm there because I think we had some satellite issues or whatever, but you made the time for me tonight, and I really appreciate it, Richard, for coming on Buzz Talk Live.
Well, George, it was my absolute honor, and to all your listeners, thank you for giving me a listen. I hope we cross paths out there somewhere. The big city of the Big Apple, I'm going to come your way again. I got it coming. I know it's going to happen.
Hey, listen, when this is all over with, I'm going to come out there to the farm and if you would have me and just to hear you live and see the place, that would be really cool.
It'll be really cool, George, if you wait till hay season and we got some hay being cut and stacked. Come that day, we could definitely use your help.
Oh, you're going to put me to work. Are all your guests put to work there, Richard?
No, just kidding, George.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for...
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for stopping in tonight, and stay right there, okay? Oh, that's great. He's a fun guy. What a talent, Richard Lynch. And please, if you haven't done so already, look him up on iTunes. Give him a listen. He's fabulous. What a great guy. Hey, tune in again on Sunday night with the original voice of Siri. She's going to be here. Susan Bennett is going to be on the show. And I can't wait to ask her some questions. And here's Siri. So that's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Right here on the Buzz Talk Live show. That's all for tonight, folks. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks again, Richard, for coming on the show and giving me your time. It was what a great show this was to highlight him and his career and what he's done. Just in country music, as an artist. So that's all for tonight, folks. And good night, America.